to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose offers it to me. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Isn't that just a wonderful promise? I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, and we're ready for lesson 131 in A Course in Miracles. We're reading from the edition printed by Foundation for Inner Peace, the 2007 edition. Here on Friday, May the 10th of 2024. And did I say I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks? No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Failure is all about you while you seek for goals that cannot be achieved. You look for permanence in the impermanent, for love where there is none, for safety in the midst of danger, immortality within the darkness of the dream of death. Who could succeed where contradiction is the setting of his searching, and the place to which he comes to find stability? Goals that are meaningless are not attained. There is no way to reach them, for the means by which you strive for them are meaningless as they are. Who can use such senseless means and hope through them to gain in anything? Where can they lead? And what could they achieve that offers any hope of being real? Pursuit of the imagined leads to death because it is the search for nothingness. And while you seek for life, you ask for death. You look for safety and security while in your heart you pray for danger and protection for the little dream you made. Yet searching is inevitable here. Yet searching is inevitable here. For this you came, and will surely do the thing you came for, which is to search. But the world cannot dictate the goal for which you search, unless you give it power to do so. Otherwise, you still are free to choose a goal that lies beyond the world and every worldly thought, and one that comes to you from an idea relinquished, yet remembered, old, yet new, an echo of a heritage forgot, yet holding everything you really want. Be glad that search you must. Be glad as well to learn you search for heaven and must find the goal you really want. No one can fail to want this goal and reach it in the end. God's Son cannot seek vainly, though he try to force delay, deceive himself, and think that it is hell he seeks. When he is wrong, he finds correction. When he wanders off, he is led back to his appointed task. We have a guide who makes sure that we keep getting brought back to our appointed task, which is to find the truth. No one remains in hell, for no one can abandon his Creator, nor affect his perfect, timeless, and unchanging love. No one remains in hell. We're all going to find our freedom eventually. For no one can abandon his Creator, nor affect his perfect, timeless, and unchanging love. You will find heaven. Everything you seek but this will fall away. Yet not because it has been taken from you. It will go because you do not want it. You will reach the goal you really want as certainly as God created you in sinlessness. Why wait for heaven? It is here today. We don't have to wait any longer. Time is the great illusion. It is past or in the future. Yet this cannot be. If it is where God wills His Son to be, how could the will of God be in the past or yet to happen? What He wills is now, without a past and wholly futureless. It is as far removed from time as is a tiny candle from a distant star, or what you choose from what you really want. Heaven remains your one alternative to this strange world you made and all its ways, its shifting patterns and its uncertain goals, its painful pleasures and its tragic joys. God made no contradictions. What denies its own existence and attacks itself is not of Him. He did not make two minds, with heaven as the glad effect of one, and earth the other sorry outcome, which is heaven's opposite in every way. God does not suffer conflict, nor is His creation split in two. How could it be His Son could be in hell when God Himself established Him in heaven? Could He lose what the eternal will has given Him to be His home forever? Let us not try longer to impose an alien will upon God's single purpose. He is here because He wills to be, and what He wills is present now beyond the reach of time. Today we will not choose a paradox in place of truth. How could the Son of God make time to take away the will of God? He thus denies Himself and contradicts what has no opposite. He thinks He made a hell opposing heaven, and believes that He abides in what does not exist, while heaven is the place He cannot find. Leave foolish thoughts like these behind today, and turn your mind to true ideas instead. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth, and it is truth we seek to reach today. We will devote 10 minutes to this goal 3 times today, and we will ask to see the rising of the real world to replace the foolish images that we hold dear, with true ideas arising in the place of thoughts that have no meaning, no effect, and neither source nor substance in the truth. Isn't that nice to know? Thus, let's read it again. We will devote 10 minutes to this goal 3 times today, and we will ask to see the rising of the real world to replace the foolish images that we hold dear, with true ideas arising in the place of thoughts that have no meaning, no effect, and neither source nor substance in the truth. This we acknowledge as we start upon our practice periods. Begin with this. I ask to see a different world and think a different kind of thought from those I made. The world I seek I did not make alone. The thoughts I want to think are not my own. For several minutes watch your mind and see, although your eyes are closed, the senseless world you think is real. Review the thoughts as well which are compatible with such a world and which you think are true. Then let them go and sink below them to the holy place, where they can enter not. There is a door beneath them in your mind, which you could not completely lock to hide what lies beyond. So we're going to go inside, close our eyes, and look, and we're going to let go of the world that we thought was real, but was full of vulnerability and pain and death and all the things that we don't need as children of God. We find that there is a door beneath them in your mind, which you could not completely lock to hide what lies beyond. Seek for that door and find it. But before you try to open it, remind yourself no one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. And it is this request we make today. Nothing but this has any meaning now. No other goal is valued now nor sought. Nothing before this door you really want, and only what lies past it do you seek. Put out your hand and see how easily the door swings open with your one intent to go beyond it. Angels light the way so that all darkness vanishes, and you are standing in a light so bright and clear that you can understand all things you see. A tiny moment of surprise, perhaps, will make you pause before you realize the world you see before you in the light reflects the truth you knew and did not quite forget in wandering away in dreams. You cannot fail today. There walks with you the Spirit heaven sent you, that you might approach this door someday and through His aid slip effortlessly past it to the light. Today that day has come. Today that day has come to leave this world and enter into the world of light. Today that day has come. Today God keeps His ancient promise to His only Son, as does His Son remember His to Him. This is a day of gladness. This is a day of gladness. For we come to the appointed time and place where you will find the goal of all your searching here, and all the seeking of the world, which end together as you pass beyond the door. Remember often that today should be a time of special gladness, and refrain from dismal thoughts and meaningless laments. Salvation's time has come. Today is set by heaven itself to be a time of grace for you and for the world. If you forget this happy fact, remind yourself with this. Today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose offers it to me. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Okay, wow. Well, today's a special day of celebration and of gladness. We're going to do what we came here to do. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Okay, and we're ready for text chapter 14, Roman numeral 11, be the last section in this. We'll take a couple days to get through it, though. And it's the test of truth. And before we read that, let's see what else is going on around the world. And from holidays and observances, just a few I want to mention. I'll put all of them in the description below that you can go look if you'd like to look at everything that they had listed on holidaysandobservances.com. But the ones that I thought deserved a little special attention, it's National Public Gardens Day. National Public Gardens Day. And right when I plopped down here on this little place, I found this little cedar tree that I just thought, you know what, that's not going to ever do good underneath this walnut tree. I mean, it'd grow and it'd probably live here for many, many years. But, you know, it'd just be a bush. And I thought, well, I'm going to give it some full bright sunlight and it'll make a nice little tree. A Juniperus virginiana, a eastern red cedar, a wonderful tree for many native peoples, Cherokee in particular, which I came from. I have a little Cherokee blood in me according to my heritage. My dad tells me my great-grandmother was Cherokee. One day without shoes. Good day to go shoeless. Connect with the natural world. Trust your intuition day. Now that's listening to me. That's just another way of saying listen to the Holy Spirit. Listen to what's real inside you. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. And then in our edible landscaping, we've got a peach. We finished the apples they had listed, and we're going to go on to peaches now. The first one that edible landscaping has to offer is the Red Haven peach. And it says, an excellent in all peach respects. Red Haven is a standard for an early orange flesh peach. Blooms are least susceptible to late frost injury. Fruits resist brown rot and bacterial spot. Still needs attention to pruning, insect, and disease control. self-fertile, spaced 10 to 14-foot circles, zones 4 through 9. And that's the Red Haven peach, which is the Prunus persica, or persica. And then in Permaculture for Beginners, by Carrie Mitchell, we're still in Chapter 8, Creating a Composting System, and we're in the concluding paragraphs. We've got a couple to go. In paragraph 3, she says, permaculture, and this is my own words for it, permaculture is an advanced discipline with a great many principles and practices, but its beauty is its simplicity. It's simple, primitive, observationally led practices. No use of advanced scientific processes or artificial products or chemicals, and no mechanical modern technology dependencies. It is the art of studying and becoming one with a specific location, looking for and acknowledging natural processes, and as the gardener, augmenting those specific processes to use in your life and garden. In a sense, you're becoming one with nature. Okay, well, and I really appreciate Carrie Mitchell's book. It's a nice little simple book. Okay, let's take a look. The Test of Truth. And let's keep with us our idea. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. The test of truth. Yet the essential thing is learning that you do not know. Remember lesson 1? Nothing I see in this place means anything? Well, that's what we want to keep an open mind all the time. Yet the essential thing is learning that you do not know. Knowledge is power, and all power is of God. You who have tried to keep power for yourself have lost it. Lost is in quotes because you haven't truly lost it. You still have the power, but you have interposed so much between it and your awareness of it that you cannot use it. Everything you have taught yourself has made your power more and more obscure to you. You know not what it is nor where. You have made a semblance of power and a show of strength so pitiful that it must fail you. For power is not a seeming strength, and truth is beyond semblance of any kind. Yet all that stands between you and the power of God in you is but your learning of the false and of your attempts to undo the true. Wow, we've just made what is not true, true, and we've tried to undo the true, and that's our power. That's all that stands between you and the power of God in you, which is but your learning of the false and your attempts to undo the true. Second paragraph. Be willing then for all of it to be undone, and be glad that you are not bound to it forever. For you have taught yourself how to imprison the Son of God, a lesson so unthinkable that only the insane, in deepest sleep, would even dream of it. Wow, what's that say about us? Can God learn how not to be God? And can His Son, given all power by Him, learn to be powerless? What have you taught yourself that you can possibly prefer to keep in place of what you have and what you are? Third paragraph. Atonement teaches you how to escape forever from everything that you have taught yourself in the past by showing you only what you are now. Learning has been accomplished before its effects are manifest. Learning is therefore in the past, but its influence determines the present by giving it whatever meaning it holds for you. Your learning gives the present no meaning at all. Your learning gives the present no meaning at all. Nothing you have ever learned can help you understand the present or teach you how to undo the past. Your past is what you have taught yourself. Let it go, he says. Let it go. Let the past go. Do not attempt to understand any event or anything or anyone in its light. And the word light's in quotes because it's not real light. For the darkness in which you try to see can only obscure. Put no confidence at all in darkness to illuminate your understanding. For if you do, you contradict the light, and thereby think you see the darkness. Yet darkness cannot be seen, for it is nothing more than a condition in which seeing becomes impossible. Paragraph 4. You have not yet brought all the darkness you have taught yourself into the light, and you can hardly judge the truth and value of this course. Yet God did not abandon you, and so you have another lesson sent from Him, already learned, for every child of light by Him to whom God gave it. This lesson shines with God's glory, for in it lies His power, which He shares so gladly with His Son. Learn of His happiness, which is yours. Learn of His happiness, which is yours. But to accomplish this, all your dark lessons must be brought willingly to truth and joyously laid down by hands open to receive, not closed to take. Every dark lesson that you bring to Him who teaches light, He will accept from you because you do not want it. And He will gladly exchange each one for the bright lesson He has learned for you. Never believe that any lesson you have learned apart from Him means anything. We don't want to learn from the past. It's what we're trying to see, that we want to stay in the present moment. Because what we have been trained to do is to look at the past to decide how to live in the future and not be in the present. Paragraph 5. You have one test, as sure as God, by which to recognize if what you learned is true. If you are wholly free of fear of any kind, and if all those who meet or even think of you share in your perfect peace, then you can be sure that you have learned God's lesson and not your own. Unless all this is true, there are dark lessons in your mind that hurt and hinder you and everyone around you. The absence of perfect peace means but one thing. You think you do not will for God's Son what His Father wills for Him. Every dark lesson teaches this in one form or another, and each bright lesson with which the Holy Spirit will replace the dark ones you do not accept teaches you that you will with the Father and His Son. Paragraph 6. Do not be concerned about how you can learn a lesson so completely different from everything that you have taught yourself. How would you know? Your part is very simple. You need only recognize that everything you learned you do not want. You need only recognize that everything you learned you do not want. Ask to be taught. Ask to be taught. And do not use your experience to confirm what you have learned. When your peace is threatened or disturbed in any way, say to yourself, I do not know what anything, including this, means, and so I do not know how to respond to it. And I will not use my own past learning as the light to guide me now. By this refusal to attempt to teach yourself what you do not know, the guide whom God has given you will speak to you. He will take his rightful place in your awareness the instant you abandon it and offer it to Him. And we'll read paragraph 7, then we'll stop for today. And we'll include that, what we just read, in our song. You cannot be your guide to miracles, for it is you who made them necessary. And because you did, the means on which you can depend for miracles has been provided for you. God's Son can make no needs His Father will not meet if He but turns to Him ever so little. The little willingness is all you offer. Yet He cannot compel His Son to turn to Him and remain Himself. He gives you complete freedom. That's because God is complete freedom. It is impossible that God lose His identity, for if He did, you would lose yours. And being yours, He cannot change Himself, for your identity is changeless. The miracle acknowledges His changelessness by seeing His Son as He always was, and not as He would make Himself. The miracle brings the effects that only guiltlessness can bring, and thus establishes the fact that guiltlessness must be. Okay, well, you remember what to do today. Do your 3 10-minute practice periods, and then throughout the day, tell yourself often. He says he doesn't tell you how often. I'd encourage you for at least every hour, tell yourself, today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose offers it to me. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. And before you do your 3 10-minute practice periods, say this, and I'll sing it. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. That's a little better. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. I ask to see a different world and think a different kind of thought. And think a different kind of thought from those I made. The world I seek I did not make alone. The thoughts I want to think are not my own. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Tell yourself often today. Today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose offers it to me. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. When your peace is threatened or disturbed in any way, say to yourself, I do not know what anything, including this, means. And so I do not know how to respond to it. And so I do not know how to respond to it. And I will not use my own past learning as the light to guide me now. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. Today I seek and find all that I want. My single purpose offers it to me. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. And since it's World Gardening Day, and I know they grow a lot of flowers and public gardens in Holland, let's do the Dutch word for peach, which is Vrede. So Vrede be with you. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth.